Okay, so now that we built this simple AI agent, now let's go ahead and I'm going to walk you through what a more of a complicated agent looks like. Instead of doing step-by-step, otherwise this video is going to be like an hour and a half long if I do the step-by-step because there's a lot of steps involved, but it's pretty much the same thing as this one that we talked about. I'm going to give this AI agent, let me actually show you what we're going to build first, or what I'm going to show you what this build is going to look like, and then we can go ahead and walk through step by step here. Let me out of here and bring it here. There you go. So this is what we're going to, I'm going to show you what this build is going to be. Zoom in. Okay, here we go. So same thing, the concept is similar to what we built on this little agent on the other side, so for the Joe's Diner. So this is a bit more complicated, but the steps are pretty much the same. You know, you can just walk through step by step from the previous video. You'll end up in the same space, except a few differences that I'm going to point out. So obviously we're grabbing the webhook. The main AI agent has access to now several tools. Play around with the model, the different model. You can play around with the Anthropic. I'm using Anthropic here. Claude, but you can use GPTs and stuff like that. I've given it a SERP API tool, appointments, normal calendar, Google Calendar, nothing out of the ordinary. Availability, same thing, Google Sheets. So this time this Google Sheets is going to be for grabbing name, email, and phone number of the person, because the whole point of this AI agent and the voice agent is going to be for my AI workshop and the school community. This is going to be a voice agent that's going to be sitting on my website, that's going to provide the customer information about AI workshop agency, the school community, and the school community data is sitting in this vector database here. And let me actually show you that. And that's right here, just a simple, RAG, nothing out of the ordinary. I am downloading a file. This is the AI workshop frequently asked question, just like we put the AI workshop frequently asked, the Joe's Diner frequently asked question. It's going through and grabbing or adding this frequently asked question into PineTool vector database. And from that database, again, I'm just going to utilize this vectors tool, retriever tool from our tools agent here. That's going to retrieve that data that's sitting inside a vector database that we added. Google Sheets. So this is going to be the Google Sheet that's going to add the contact information for the customer that is reaching out to have interactions with our voice AI agent inside the voice AI agent. And I'm going to showcase this in a little bit. Same thing, the process is the same thing, except this user request here that I'm going to talk about. But the information, I'm just sending name, email, phone number, date, and time. And that's coming from the parameter that we'll take a look at in a little bit. Okay. And it just has this additional little not provided, meaning that if the data is not coming in, the user information is going to say not provided. And the request, so this is going to be the main difference that I'm going to talk about here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the system prompt here. System prompt is going to be your customer support AI agent designed to handle various tasks efficiently. Your primary role is to check for available times for appointments, book appointments, grab contact information, and help retrieve information that's requested from the users, right? You have access to multiple tools to help you fulfill the request. Very similar to what we talked about or what we put on the previous video, where we went and added this system prompt to give it instruction on when to use that Google Sheets tool to grab that reservation information. In this one, obviously, it has access to more tools. So I said availability, use this tool for checking available times for appointment. And again, we're going to do a demo of this. And then the appointment is going to be use this tool to create the appointment. The vectors tool, this is going to say use this tool to retrieve information about anything related to the school community. So remember that, and I'm going to come back and review this after we interact with the voice agent, but I just want to give you a little bit of information beforehand so that way you have an idea of what's going on. Google Sheets, I said use this tool to store contacts, user information. Use this tool to store users' contact. That was wrong. To store users' contact information. Actually, I should change this to customers. There you go. Customers' contact information. SERP API. Use this tool for general information to fetch results from Google search. That's not necessary, but again, in case you want to give access to Google search or real-time data to your AI agent, you can do that. I'm saying when a task requires using one or more of these tools, make sure that you identify which tool is most appropriate, pass along the relevant details, and execute execution, blah, 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 just general, right? I'm saying same thing, keep responses concise, short, and relevant. Here's the current date and time formatted. Do not provide any existing meeting details because we want to make sure we protect that data. All right, so we're good to go here. So that's pretty much it. So now let's go ahead and get out of this. Pinecone vector database, again, anything related to school, it should use this. Okay, so that's the main difference here. The respond to webhook. So here's the difference here. So before, the status was just, hey, just say reservation is confirmed. This is a bit more complicated because now we are grabbing that output from the AI agent and we're stringifying it. So let's go ahead, and the reason this is here, and again, this is just, you can just copy and paste this. This is just to stringify and remove any special characters that the AI agent might respond to. So let's go ahead and test this thing out. By the way, you can always, as we test this, there's different ways to do this. Just because I'm doing it this way doesn't necessarily mean that this is the perfect way to do this. You can always add additional nodes like set node to be able to clean that data. And as we build more and more complicated voice agents in the future, I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to try to add more nodes like set nodes in the middle to clean the data. But this is just for demo purposes, so this should be good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and now test take a look at our AI agent inside our 11 labs. So let me pull that information up. All right, so here's what this looks like. Okay, so the AI workshop support agent. So let's take a look at the details of what I've put here. So this I've said first message, Jarvis. So I'm going to use Jarvis's voice. Of course, Jarvis is my assistant. So I'm saying, hi, I'm Jarvis. How can I help you today? Same thing. The system prompt, this is a bit more detailed, as you can see, compared to our Joe's Diner prompt that we did. So this one is a bit longer. But the reason why it's a bit longer is because obviously it has access to more tools, right? And I'm saying that you're a support name, agent named Jarvis, you're very friendly, enthusiastic, and you really want to help the customer get the information, the help they need. Answer in 3 to 7 sentences. In most cases, you work at a company called AI Workshop to help customers with anything they need. Zubair is the owner of AI Workshop, AI agency in the AI Workshop school community. So your main goal is to convert the customer visiting the website to either book, a free consultation call with Zubair about how AI agents could automate their business processes, or have the customer join the school community in a very gentle way. Again, play around with the prompt. This doesn't necessarily mean this is the best prompt. This is just for the demo purposes, but you can add or manipulate and change. When you're building this for a customer, when this is a production ready voice agent, of course, you want to be able to really test out the system prompt agent, use the n8n architect GPT to really go through and play around with the system prompt to make sure it works perfectly. And that's where the testing phase comes into, right? Okay. So now, we did that. I said, if the customers ask anything related to school community, use the school wisdom to retrieve this information. This is very important because we're directing this voice agent to use a particular tool for a particular task. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to showcase that we can call a particular tool, and the school wisdom tool that I'm referring to here is right here, which is our webhook that we talked about in the previous video. We went through step by step on how to create that. The school wisdom. So every time there's a mention anything about school, and I'm going to showcase that in a little bit, this voice agent is going to utilize that tool. That tool is connected to our AI agent here. That AI agent is going to retrieve that school information from the vector store tool, because we're specifying that. And, like I said, we'll show that in a little bit, but I just want to point out what's going on here. And then afterwards, so another tool that has access to is the get available slots. So I said, if you determine that the customer is leaning towards booking a free 30-minute consultation call, you can check the availability using the get available slots. The get available slots, actually, let's take a look at the wisdom. I forgot to show this. All right. So this school wisdom tool, again, same thing that we have named it. I said, use this tool to retrieve information about the school community. Okay. Same thing. Post method is this webhook URL. The query parameters. So this is the main difference here. On the previous one, we didn't put a query parameter. We just put body parameters. In this one, we're putting a query because we need to be able to send additional information, because our tools agent in n8n needs to be able to identify what the purpose of this request is, so that way it helps it utilize the proper tool, the appropriate tool. So that's why on top of the body parameters, we're sending a query tool, and we want to make sure the name of this query is going to be the same, or this identifier for this query parameter is going to be same across the different tools here. Okay, so if you can see right here on the wisdom tool, it says data query parameter, data is string type, and identifier is request. If I go to this one, the get available slots, same thing, query parameter, request, right? Same thing, book a meeting, query parameter, request. So they're all the same. And I'm going to point that out why I'm doing that, because you need to be able to send additional information, but for the agent to be able to access and know when to use what information, that query parameter is important. Again, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. Maybe this is not the best approach. As I test more and more voice agents, if I see there's a better way to do this, I'll let you guys know. But for now, this is what that query parameter does. So let's take a look at this get available slot, what this does, right? So we said that if you determine that the customer is leaning towards booking a free 30-minute consultation call, then use the get available slots. What's inside the get available slots tool? We're saying that, oh, and by the way, when you're naming a tool that requires multiple words, use the underscore. That's the best way to do this. Description, you have to either obviously describe what this tool is. I'm saying use this tool to check the availability for the requested date and time for the appointment, because the goal of this tool is to check the reservation detail or the appointment details that the customer is requesting. And in my case, for AI workshop community consulting, right? And then I'm giving this the URL, which is our webhook URL for n8n. We don't need to set headers. Again, we'll do that later on when we use authentication. Path parameters, don't worry about that now. Query parameters, again, so this is if you have multiple tools here and you have multiple tools inside your AI agent in n8n, you want to, what I found at least so far, is that it's good to have this query parameter have the same identifier, and you describe what this query is. So I'm saying check available times for the appointment. So at this right here, this query, we're going to send back to n8n, and it needs to have some form of a description because it needs to say what the request, the incoming request is. And when this tool is being used, obviously this is being used to check the available times for the appointments that the customer is requesting. So that's why you have to put that description here. Body parameters, unlike before where we sent a bunch of body parameters, for checking the time slot for this specific tool, we don't need to send any body parameter. And that's why I don't have this name required here, right? Because if you do this, it's going to ask for that name, but for this particular tool, we don't need to do that since we're only checking the available time slots. So that's why I just put this as optional. The reason why I'm doing this is because if you don't put a body parameter, then it's going to give you an error. So just put a sample body parameter. It's not that important for this particular tool. All right, so we're good here. I'm going to save the changes. Let's take a look at our third tool, which is our book meeting. So if we take a look at it here, so after that, right after, oh yeah, so for the prompt for this one is that if someone asks for meeting availability but doesn't specify a date and time, just check for open slots tomorrow, which again is going to be usually the case. So, and I'm saying if someone is checking availability and there are no open slots, keep checking the next day till you find availability. Very simple and easy prompt. So now it says once you have agreed upon a time to meet the customer, of course, you can use the book meeting to book a call. Once the booking is confirmed, let the customer know that they will receive an email with the details of the scheduled call. Very simple when it comes to booking appointments. So it says if you call a book meeting and it fails, try again. And fails in a polite way, suggest to the customer that you're having issues, that they should use the contact form to reach out to customer support. And that's, you want to have a fail in there, fail switch as well. This section right here, I just said, if a customer asks for information related to whatever, politely let the customer know that you're researching. So this is something that I put depending on different model. You can play around with this. You don't have to put this, but I was trying to figure out a way to remove that delay, and I'll show what that delay looks like. But this is just an optional thing that you can put. LLM, I'm choosing Claude. We can play around with different models, of course, but book a meeting. So this is another tool that's important, right? So this is when the customer is ready to book a meeting, and this is where it's going to have several body parameters. So this tool, it says book meeting. The description, use this tool to book appointment requested by the customer, right? Same thing, very standard. Query parameters, we're sending the same thing, and we're letting the AI agent know that the customer is ready to book a meeting. So this one has body parameters. So I'm saying in a natural way, ask the customer to provide their name, email address, phone number, and the requested date and time for the appointment, right? Because now when the customer is ready to book an appointment, we need to have these required information so we can grab the customer's contact information and their requested date and time of the appointment. So same thing, string is going to be date, description, requested date of the appointment, email of the customer, time, requested time of the appointment, phone number of the customer, and name of the customer, of course, right? So I'm going to click on Save Changes here, click on Save, and we're pretty much done here. All right, great. So now let's go ahead and actually do a demo here. So let me go ahead and open the Google Sheets here. Here's the Google Sheets. Just very simple. It has name, email, phone number. Very simple. And the reason why I'm doing this is because as we're talking to our customer, we want to be able to grab that information and save that information for further processing later on, right? So that's kind of like a standard way to gather information from your customer who is interested in booking an appointment with you for whatever reason. So let's go ahead and minimize this or make this smaller so that way we can interact with this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do this proper demo here.
Hi, I'm Jarvis. How can I help you today?
Hey Jarvis, I want to see if I can book an appointment for tomorrow at 10 a.m. for a consultation call.
It looks like the time slot at 10 in the morning tomorrow is available. If you'd like to proceed with booking this time for your consultation call, could you please provide me with your name, email, and phone number? This will help me secure your appointment.
Yeah, name is Jack Smith, email is jacksmith@gmail.com, and then phone number is 510-335-5582.
Your consultation call has been successfully booked for December 20th at 10 in the morning. You should receive an email shortly with the details of the scheduled call. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
Yeah, I wanted to see if you could give me some information about the school community.
The AI Workshop School Community is a vibrant platform for AI enthusiasts and professionals to collaborate, learn, and solve challenges together. It offers continuous learning resources, peer and expert support, live tech support Q&A sessions.
Okay, so you get the idea. It did its job. It actually went ahead and used all 3 different tools when it was booking that appointment. And if you look right here, it gathered the information, the phone number, and if I take a look at my calendar right here, it says meeting with Jack Smith, Friday, December 20th, between 10 and 10:30 a.m., jacksmith@gmail.com, right? So everything worked out exactly as it is. Again, feel free to play around with the prompt, even the query here, if you run into any kind of issues with the different models, and to see which one gives you the best results. And same thing, like I said, you can add additional nodes, and we will keep doing that as we improve these voice agents further down the line. But this hopefully gave you a good idea how to create this, get started. Now you can use this as a base to be able to create more robust AI voice agents. All right, well, hopefully you found this helpful. Like I said, I'm going to keep updating this deep dive series as I build more and more complex voice AI agents, because like I said, voice AI agents are definitely the future. And as this tool with 11 Labs becomes better and better, we can have actually even better conversation and have more of a natural conversation. The reason why you're seeing that little lag when it's reaching out to our workflow here is because Unfortunately, that is kind of like the price that you have to pay when you're using a third-party tool and using webhook. It takes some time. So that's where we're going to keep tinkering to make sure this becomes better and better over time. And we can use different models to reduce that lag time and make that interaction a lot more natural. But this hopefully, like I said, give you a good idea. And in the future videos, we'll build more complex voice agents and try to make this conversation, the speed better, and I've actually have a more of a natural conversation.